เวนะบุทธรัตนังธัมมรัตนังสังฆรัตนังดีนังรัตนานังอนุภาเวนะจันทุราสิทิสหัสธัมมาญานุภาเวนะพิทาคาดยานุภาเวนะชินัสสะยานุภาเวนะสาเปเนโรคาเปเนพยาสาเปเนหันธรายาเตโอภาทวาสาเปเนโทนิเมธาสาเปเนอวมังกลาวินาสันตุวายุวาทโกนานาวัฏโกสิริวัฏโกยสวัฏโกพลวัฏโกวันวัฏโกสุขวัฏโกโหตุสัพพันธะทุกขโรคภัยเวรัสภะวะหะเนกาหันตรายาภิวินาสันตุจเตจะสะยสิติธานังลาภังโสทิภาคังสุขังภะลังสิริอายุจวันโนจะโภคังวุฒิสวาสัตวาสาจะอายุจะชีวสิทธิภวันตุเตภวันตุสัพพมังคลังรักขันตุสัพพเทวตาพระพุทธานุภาเวนัสสตาโสติภวันตุเตภวันตุสัพพมังคลังรักขันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพธัมมานุภาเวนัสสตาโสติภวันตุเตภวันตุสัพพมังคลังรักขันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพสังฆังภาเวนัสสตาโสติภวันตุเตสาธุสาธุสาธุ
อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวาพุทธังภะคะวันตังอภิวาเทมิสวากขาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมมัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนัมมามิ The Sangha could now pay respects, take our leave of Luang Por together. ขอโอกาสกราบหลวงพ่อพร้อมกันนะครับ
Let's pay our respects to the Sangha.
Brothers and sisters, today is a great day indeed. We, in particular, would like to express our deepest gratitude to members of the Sangha, and in particular, Ajahn Sumedho, for spending this morning with us. We also are greatly indebted to a lot of friends of the Dhamma who have supported both in terms of finances as well as in kind and in voluntary work in making today possible. And we want to also express our gratitude to all of the members of the Sangha who have traveled great distances to be with us. And so to close this morning's session, let us show our deepest gratitude and appreciation with 3 sadhus.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Cattaro Dhamma Vatanti Ayukvano Sukhankha. So this is another opportunity to reflect that all that comes together must separate. All the other events that I participated in. So I wish you all the very best. And you're always welcome to visit Amaravati in Hertfordshire in England. And I hope to be visiting Malaysia again sometime. This is, I mean, an education is important because like Buddhism, Buddha Dhamma really has an important message, you know, for just developing good character in the world, you know, before you even think of becoming liberated from suffering. But it has, you know, it's structured in a way that has a very, you know, would be very important for young children and on up to have something in a basis like that, the kind of prime cultural conditioning, just the Dhamma Sila levels of practice. And it also, you know, by doing good, refrain from doing bad, and 5 precepts and so forth, this all brings happiness into our lives in a worldly context. And I can see this, you know, how when in just the way of developing a sense of self-respect and respect for your own goodness and intentions in your life, we need to have things like dana, generate, you know, to share, and sila, taking responsibility, and these kind of adages that you get: do good, refrain from doing bad, and these are very important to get in your early years as messages on ways to live your life, how to relate to others and your parents and the society. So I've noticed, I've always been a great admirer of Chinese culture. So I even studied it in an undergraduate. And Confucianism and all the kind of cultural background of coming from ancient China. And of course, what always impressed me is the kind of refinement of it, and the sense of duty, responsibility, and relationships that were never part of my cultural background. And so I must have had some strong karmic connection of previous life experience with China. Because I remember as a small child in Seattle in the 30s, we lived in a part of Seattle where there were no Asians living, so mainly what I saw around me were middle-class white people. That was it. But I always felt this strange attraction to Asian people, and when I entered university in 1951, I entered the Far Eastern Institute in the University of Washington, which at that time was probably one of the best places to study Chinese culture in the United States. And over the years, this particular interest, first it was as a child toward China, because that's all word that I heard. And then when I encountered Buddhism, and in a way, I'd heard of Buddhism before, but had never really given it much attention until as I've been relating about me encountering it in Japan. Then that I knew was why that particular tendency I had, what it was aiming for, because after that has been my main interest in life. And of course, we all have to live and learn from our own lives and from the way we are as individuals, but it also learning how to live in society, how to live in a way that we can live a blameless life and without fear and self-disparagement. Because these are, with all the modern ideals of Western democracy, and it doesn't create a sense of self-respect. You don't really know who you are, but so you're always, demanding things to try to think if you have everything that you want, then you will be okay. But that's not the case. So even in, I found in my own life with Pochai newborn, where I gave up everything, just living in a little hut sleeping on a grass mat. It was in those days, Wat Pong had no technology advancements whatsoever except a pulley on the well, and yet I found how simple life could be, and that my happiness then related to a change of attitude, not to increasing amount of comfort and convenience. And that was quite an insight to realize this bhikkhu life, this monastic life, it does give us a chance to see, that we don't have to dedicate our lives to always seeking security or material wealth, but it's really developing the right attitude and seeing things in terms of wisdom rather than through cultural biases or modern idealism or whatever our basic conditioning generates. We begin to transcend that and see things in terms of Dhamma. But this also brings us into a universal relationship, because this is a universal teaching, for all human beings. This was a teaching that is appropriate for everyone, and it's not just for special people. And then it ranges on all levels, from generosity, Dhamma, to Sila and Bhavana. So it has a complete structure just for worldly happiness, self-respect, and then for developing your wisdom faculties for liberation from all delusions. So I always feel a certain sadness in separating, but I do it so often that coming, going, that's my life. I express my gratitude for the incredible hospitality and for all of us, that we've received here in Kuala Lumpur, and then the interest and the generosity, everything has been more than one ever expected. So this is something I leave Kuala Lumpur with very happy memories. And happy memories then generate that wish to come back. As Lumpur Cha always says, the future is the unknown. Years ago, when Lumpur Cha when we came to London the first time in 1977, it was in Wesak celebration time in May, and so the head of the Buddhist Society, very famous man, Christmas Humphreys, who really established the London Buddhist Society and has written books, came to pay respect to Ajahn Chah, and so then, and I was translating for him, and we met in the Vihara, and then he said, we're having this traditional Visakha celebration in this special place in London, and we would like Ajahn Chah to be our honored guest. Will he accept? And so I translated that into Thai, and then Lumpur Cha looks at Christmas Humphreys and he says, "Mai na," which means I don't know. so then I said, I told Christmas Humphreys, I said, he's not sure. and then Christmas Humphreys looked a bit upset and bewildered by his answer. And then he said, but he can certainly, commit himself and say, that he will come or he won't come. That's all I need to know. And so I told Lumpur Cha, and Lumpur Cha smiled and said, "My na." And he wouldn't give in at all, His "my na," then in Thai that means uncertain, So anyway, Christmas Humphrey said, well, on the day, I'll send my driver with my car to pick you up. And so the day came, and during this time, Christmas Humphreys would phone, or he'd get somebody to phone the Vihara and say, is he going to come or not? And Lumpur Cha was always my na. So the day came, the car came, the chauffeur came, and so I went back where Ajahn Chah was staying in the Vihara, and I said, Lumpur, the driver's here to take you to the Buddhist Society Wesak Day. And he said, oh, well, let's go. I doubt if Christmas Humphreys ever really understood it. Well, that's what people expect. I mean, that word in Thai, my na, sticks in your mind. And even in England, I keep, using the concept my na as my but it also is a great important Dhamma teaching because the future is unknown. It's Maya, and so this is, and this I think we need to have that, because we are like in modern life in England is all the writing in your diaries, appointments, schedules and calendars and so forth. You're kind of booked up. Like several years ago, I just had to, backing out or stop, using the Mayana type of answer because I was getting booked up years in advance. I was like a slave to my diary. I can't guarantee that I'll be even alive. And then once you make the commitment, then you more or less have to keep it. And the society is one that wants certainty. Certitude is a great desire for everyone to be certain. And this uncertainty is really Dhamma, at this moment. The way it is like this. And it's not saying, defining it, telling you it's wonderful or it's horrible or whatever, it's just like this. And then of course conditions change in ways that we can't predict or be certain. So it's a very profound and truthful way to respond by now. Oh, this is Ajahn Sumedho. I'm arrived safely back at Amaravati in England, and to say a few words of appreciation for the hospitality and the interest that I experienced while I was in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur and Penang. And of course the Ajahn Chah Day on the 16th of January was very inspiring to see so many people interested in my teacher, who has passed away many years ago, but whose teaching still is very clear and precise, and he is even now more famous than he was when he was alive. I really enjoyed seeing the interest that you all showed, and the commitment and the eagerness to learn amongst the people that I met in Malaysia. And this is something to really praise and encourage, this interest, because it is Buddhism to me is a teaching that really helps one to deal with the existence, with the whole span of one's lifetime, in which we have to deal with the worldly dhammas, praise and blame, success, failure, happiness, suffering, loss of loved ones, separation from the loved, and so forth. So that this is the Buddha's teaching is to encourage us to pay attention to life and be awake and learn from it, rather than always trying to escape suffering or blame it on somebody or something else. This practice that I've been involved in for the past 43 years has certainly paid off in my lifetime. What I've learned and the result of my commitment to monastic life and practicing Buddhist meditation is something that I am extremely grateful for, having such an opportunity. And I do appreciate Sian Ma's interest and his invitation for us to go to Malaysia to share our knowledge with those who are interested. And so it was something that I found great joy in, and felt very inspired myself to see the whole family, Sian's whole family, including his mother and sisters, brother and in-laws and nieces and so forth, all attending the retreat at the Genting Hills, which was also a very memorable and pleasant experience for me. The one thing that I can really share with all of you is what I've learned from my life as a Buddhist monk, practicing in this tradition, in this way. Of course, under the guidance, the first 10 years was directly under the guidance of Ajahn Chah, and so his influences in my life has been, probably the most significant person that I've encountered in my lifetime. And so the appreciation and respect that people are showing for him in Malaysia also gives me great joy, because of all the people I've met in my life, Ajahn Chah, I think, is very unique, wise, and worthy of all the respect and praise that he is still receiving, even though he has passed away many years ago. When I left Malaysia, I went back to Thailand, where I had the cataract surgery on both eyes, which has been very successful, and now I can see better. I can see without glasses, quite clearly. All I need glasses for is for reading small print. So this is quite something quite magnificent in itself, the modern medical procedures which can restore eyesight when you're 75 years old. Again, I send you all my best wishes and my encouragement and respect for your interest and your commitment, and for all the organization, management, and hard work that went into arranging both the retreat and the Ajahn Sumedho Day, and also for those in Penang, Larry Lim, and people there that arranged for my very brief stay in that beautiful place. And so I hope to have another opportunity to visit you all in Malaysia sometime in the future, and wish you all the very best.